Oh yeah, we're talking about Cowboy Bebop again. I figured this would be appropriate since I have been covering the Bebop news of the Netflix series as it's been coming out, at least as far as all of the set images and stuff and the controversy surrounding our lovely Faye Valentine, which I'm sure nobody will have any comments on in this video. Anyways, let me reiterate before I start this video that there is absolutely no substitute for the original Cowboy Bebop anime. It is classic, it's amazing, it's fantastic. It only has 26 episodes. There's no reason you can't go watch it right now. It's streaming on various platforms, I believe. Also, there's this great, amazing Blu-ray release of it that has a lot of cool bonus features, an interview with the cast and everything. It's got one of the best English dubs of all time, in my opinion. My second favorite anime ever. People ask what my favorite is. It's Dragon Ball. Sorry, it's just the era I grew up in. But this is absolutely 100% what you need to watch. If you've never seen Cowboy Bebop before, if you're curious about this series, if you want to get into it, start here because this is literally the only place to start. 26 episodes and one movie that is canon as well. Definitely worth your time to check out. I think it's usually the anime that I introduce to people first if they've never seen anime before, because it kind of stays away from a lot of the tropes of like anime, like wackiness and silliness, and it's a very sort of straightforward adult series talking about adult themes and ideas. It has a lot of fun, great characters. Every episode is sort of individualized in a way. There's a couple of two-parters, but for the most part, it's every episode tells a story and tells that full story within the episode. So it is one of those easily digestible shows. I think that is worth people checking out. Even if you're not into anime at all, I think the anime of Cowboy Bebop is 100% where you need to start. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, we got to talk about the Netflix live action series. Now, there has been a lot of controversy going on about this Netflix live action, mostly because this is what happens when you take a critically acclaimed and very famous and popular anime and try to turn it into live action. Generally, live action animes do not do very well. They're not interpreted very well, and fans usually wind up hating them, leaving most fans to be like, why are you making a live action at all? Why can't we just get more episodes? Why can't we just do something different or just leave good enough alone? And I completely understand, sympathize, and respect that because there have been a lot of adaptations of stuff that I am not a fan of whatsoever. Dragon Ball Evolution is a movie that still haunts me to this day and is probably why my sleep paralysis demon looks like Justin Chatwin. But for the most part, when it comes to Cowboy Bebop, I feel like this is a series that you could do in live action and at least justify it enough to the point where, hey, it's really cool to see all of these nostalgic things that we watched back in the early 2000s late at night on Adult Swim. It's cool to see it once again in live action. So the trailer was supposed to drop today, and it did, but I like what they did with this drop of the trailer. I like that the trailer itself is the opening credits, and this made me really happy, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, and it actually doesn't really have much to do with the actual like live action that we're getting. It has to do with fulfilling a fantasy I've had in my mind since I was like 14 years old. So I always imagined, I've always been into filmmaking and writing and directing and stuff like that. And I always like as a teenager, I say little kid, as a teenager at like 14, 15 years old, and I was getting into Cowboy Bebop and I loved the series and everything. I always imagined in my mind, what would it be like if I directed a Cowboy Bebop movie? What would I do with it, right? And I decided I would make I would make two films. The first movie would cover the first 13 episodes and the second movie would cover the second 13 episodes. And I always imagined that I would want to make my opening credits of my Cowboy Bebop movie mimic the opening credits of the anime, but do it in live action. So do the silhouettes, do the running, do showing the ships and everything, every single thing that the opening credits do to the song Tank, I wanted to recreate that in live action. And when I watched this trailer and they did that, I don't know if it sparked hope in me. I don't know if it just like pulled on those nostalgia strings. I don't know if it just fulfilled a young Ryan fantasy for me, but I had a smile on my face the entire time because this is something I always pictured in my head since I was little, man. And ever since I first got into Cowboy Bebop, I always imagined doing the opening credits like this and doing that and using that as the trailer as well. Dude, it made me giddy, all right? Now, look, I do have issues with the live action and the trailer. Don't get me, I'm not just going to sing its praises 100% and say that it's, the best thing ever. I want to come at these videos with a very nuanced point of view because I'm not a person that thinks in terms of black and white. I don't just hate things and love things. Usually, sometimes I do, but generally I try to assess it as a whole and come up with these are the things I like, these are the things I dislike. You know, we don't have to instantly rate everything a 0 and a 10 in the world. We can be somewhere in the middle sometimes. It's possible. Gray is possible. Trust me. So there are things about this that I really, really love that they did that. Now, watching the trailer, I'm not doing a trailer reaction video because every single time I try to do that, I get flagged for copyright, and I would actually like to monetize this video, so there's that, just kind of throwing that out there. That's why I'm not doing a trailer reaction. But the trailer will be linked down below in the description if you want to check it out for yourself, and a couple stills from the trailer are going to be shown during the course of this video. There are a couple things here that I want to point out. One thing is they definitely showcase particular characters that they're going to be doing in live action or particular episodes that they're adapting that are all over the course of the series. So with the first half and the second half. So that's very interesting to me. Two things I really was not expecting. Number one, Mad Pierrot is going to be adapted into one of these episodes. One of my favorite episodes of the entire series, which is like a creepy horror, weird experimentation on this character, Mad Pierrot, and he's got these weird, like, telekinesis type abilities. It's freaking weird. It's wacky. Like, it's one of the outlying episodes of the entire series where it has something supernatural. It's not really supernatural. They kind of explain it by science, but like, it's an episode that very much stands by itself. And I was very shocked that they're going to adapt that episode because Cowboy Bebop, though it takes place in space in the future and there's spaceships and stuff, it's very grounded. There's no weird alien creatures. There's no ray guns or blasters and stuff. Like, the characters fight by using martial arts and guns and various weapons. It's a very grounded series, even though it's sci-fi. Has a very lived-in quality to it. So things that are like weird like that, like supernatural, don't happen in the course of the series, minus that episode. And I was shocked that that's an episode that they're choosing to adapt. So I got to give them credit for that. I got to give them kudos for that. Was not expecting that. The other one I saw was Teddy Bomber, which is one of my favorites as well. And I really hope that they do the cowboy character also. What was his name? Andy. Oh my God, dude, that episode is so fucking funny. Like, basically, there's these two bounty hunter groups. There's Spike, who's our main character, and there's Andy, who dresses up like an actual literal cowboy, and they're going after this bounty head that places bombs in teddy bears. And like the whole episode, not to spoil it for you guys, but like the whole episode, like Teddy Bomber is trying to explain why he's doing the things he's doing. He wants to be noticed, he wants to be recognized, but every single time it's just like Spike and Andy like fighting each other to try to see who gets the right to get the bounty head. And it's a really, really funny episode. So shocked that they're doing that. Okay, so other than that, so what can I say? So the trailer, I liked how they did it. I like how it was presented. I like how they're using Tank. I like how they did the opening credits. And I was very shocked and surprised and happy to see some of the episodes that they're choosing to adapt, like Mad Pierrot and like the Teddy Bomber episode. And there's a few other ones in there. We did see Vicious from a Ballad of Fallen Angels with the image against the church, sort of the glass wall of the church and everything. That's window. It's a window, not a wall. Sorry, this is what you get when I'm off the cuff, when I don't write my videos, when I'm just speaking. Anyways, so all that was cool to see. But now, okay, I'll get into my negatives. All right, I'm just gonna sing its praises. I do have negatives to say. My number one negative, which is why I chose this background here, is where the fuck is Ed? Where is Ed? Do you guys know Ed? If you're a Cowboy Bebop fan, Ed is the young girl that joins their group. She's extremely well-versed in technology. She's sort of like an experienced hacker and everything, and she is pretty much the comedic element of the show. She's the comic relief, and she is such a fun character to watch. And her personality bounces off the others because she has a very extroverted, wild, personality, as opposed to the more subdued Spike and Jet and Faye, who's just sometimes she's here, sometimes she's not here. She has a very sort of aloof personality. But Ed is like this beacon of light that is throughout the entire show, and I cannot understand why Ed is not being included. Now, not seeing Ed in any of the promotional material, I wasn't as worried about it, but when you do the opening credits and you mimic the opening credits exactly as the anime was and cut out Ed completely, and in the final shot where in the anime version it shows all four main characters, there are four main characters, and Ed is not here. And that really irritates me, and I don't know why they didn't do that, because Ed, okay, so Ed is a child, right? But I wouldn't say, maybe Ed is like 12 or 13. I don't see any reason why you couldn't have gotten like a teenage actor to do it and to act the part. Now, because I'm thinking maybe they didn't include Ed because this is going to be an adult show and they didn't want to deal with like a child being in it or something like that. I don't know. I can't think of another reason. But there are probably hundreds upon thousands of teenage actors or tween actors that could play Ed and deliver that sort of fun, energetic, comedic element to the series. Ed and the dog Ian, which Ian is in the show, but Ed is not, and like they have a very like close relationship as well. So I'm very confused. I'm very confused and annoyed at that fact. The fact that she would go as far as to do the opening credits like this, to cast these characters like this, to do justice to particular episodes, hopefully, but not include Ed, and not give me my Mushroom Samba live action episode, because Mushroom Samba is one of my favorites. I don't understand. Don't understand that. Now, as far as the Faye controversy goes, I've kind of already talked about that in videos, and personally with the outfit and stuff, I don't really care. I mean, would I have preferred to see like an anime-accurate outfit of Faye? Well, of course, especially with the actress concerned, because I know she does things to me. But like, of all things, like it's not like I don't really care. Like I don't really care. You know, as long as like Faye is her character, and they're not like eliminating the entire like sexuality and sensual vibe from her, you know, that femme fatale sort of persona that she has. As long as they're not like changing her character, you know, I can live with it. It's fine. But not including Ed, I don't understand. But again, I'm coming at this with an open mind. I'm not going to sing the show's praises, and I'm not going to write the show off as dog shit or anything. I'm going to give it a legitimate chance. I'm going to go into it. I'm just going to watch it as it is. I'm not going to look at it as a replacement for the anime. Like I said, once again, watch the original anime, because this is Cowboy Bebop. This is how it was meant to be seen, how it's meant to be experienced. If you're new to the franchise, this is what you watch. The live action is something you watch afterwards, just to either get a little bit more Bebop in your life, or just to be curious like I am. How are they going to adapt some of these episodes? I wonder what it's going to look like in live action. I wonder what John Cho's performance is going to be like. You know, that's kind of where I'm coming from. This is not a replacement. This is not something. This is not going to take the place of the anime. This is just going to be an experiment in my mind. So I'm kind of curious about it. What do you guys think? The comments down below, let me know. I love reading the comments of the Cowboy Bebop videos. I really do. Let me know what you guys think down below. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. If the show is great, cool. If it sucks, whatever. Like, I don't really care. I'm just curious about it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Trailer will also be linked in the description, as well as my Patreon merch store. Various social media links where you can follow me. Also, like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more anime, manga, movie, you know, whatever the fuck ginger guy wants to talk about stuff.